Manchester, notorious for its incredible art scene, some might say a world leader in art and culture, with a variety of talent coming right from the heart of the city centre, with bands such as The Smiths and Oasis, and even world-famous actors such as Ian McKellen and Christopher Eccleston. With around 145,000 young people living in poverty around Greater Manchester, the child poverty rate in Manchester is higher than anywhere else in the UK. It is vital that many of these young people have a support network around them that allows creativity. However, many of these young people are not financially supported. We wanted to find out what projects were available within the arts and music industry and look into how they create a positive and inclusive space for the young people in Manchester. Cirkl.Studios is part of NGL, a community-based project in Stretford Mall, supporting young people by providing free mentorship opportunities to young people across Greater Manchester. NGL was founded by David Schofield and Jaden Irving in 2020. Having initially taught in pupil referral units, they decided to set up their own community interest project after finding that there was so little provision and opportunity for vulnerable young people once they were excluded from school. Cirkl.Studios is a professional operating music studio dedicated to inspiring fresh talent, run by resident music producer Sam Kappa. We spoke to Sam about why this facility is so crucial.
Cirkl.Studios is kind of split into two, really. So in the daytime, under the umbrella of NGL, we run alternative provision classes for young people from anything from pupil referral units to care homes to local schools, just kind of a lot of young people that are in poverty that have got involved in the wrong things, in crime and gangs and etc. And then in the evening we run commercially, and we work with professional artists from all the way through Manchester, from all ages, all talents. We've got a control room, a live room, rehearsal room, photography suite. We like to think of ourselves as the new creative hub in Manchester. That's what we're going for. I think it's incredibly important to have places like Cirkl.Studios for young people in Manchester because, especially in our daytime with the alternative provision, a key goal for us was to level the playing fields in schools and educational side for young people, because you got to think the underprivileged, vulnerable young people generally go to the poorer schools with less facilities and less funding, and that doesn't mean they're any less talented, but because of that they have less access. So we wanted to really build like an incredible facility with access to amazing professional standard, but it be accessible to those vulnerable underprivileged young people. Through something as expressive as music, it builds confidence, it builds self-respect and discipline, and music's so inviting and so universal for everybody, and everyone's interested in music. It's not about qualifications here, it's about building like confident, strong young people. And I think if more people focused on that, we'd have a lot more, young people that are ready to take on the world. We've already had quite a few success stories. We've got a young person that's just kind of come out of the programme, and he's so interested in music, he wants to come back and be a young mentor here. And he's actually got his first gig supporting a Manchester artist, the Deaf Institute. That's amazing. A first gig, Deaf Institute. That's incredible.
My name's Kia, and I come to Cirkl.Studios to record and to work with young adults. I think Cirkl.Studios is very important to the youth and also to myself to create a better path and a better future. Me and my friends enjoy Cirkl.Studios very much, just to get out of street problems and stuff, and just to get away. Come here to rap and, take photos, have a laugh, and just stay away from bad things. Like, this is a positive environment, for young people like myself to be here.
So Keane was one of the young people that we met like 2-3 years ago now, I think it was. Yeah. And I mean, you've been rapping as well through like friends and family and stuff, but it was kind of your first proper studio experience, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
And I mean, to say we've come in 2-3 years, like I think Keane's going to be a superstar. But you went from just kind of rapping on stuff that everybody around you was rapping on and just the same as everybody else, and now you've kind of got your own sound.
Yeah, we've blew it out.
And now, like for that, like the showcase night the other week, you were like levels above everybody else, but they were all so inspired by what you were doing and what you were doing in this space, that not only did they want to work in this space, they wanted to work with you in this space. Yeah. And now, like you said yourself, you're thinking of forming a collective with those lads. Through just that one performance night, there's 3 or 4 lads now that want to make a rap collective and want to be performing together and recording in here together, and it's
just goes to show how much opportunity Cirkl.Studio builds.
Yeah. I said they slice the creep, riding heat, style of cheesy, fighting the beast.
The Royal Exchange is a theatre in the heart of Manchester city centre, holding productions with a cast of some of the most famous actors. One scheme the Royal Exchange offers is the Young Company, which is their award-winning resident company for young people aged 14 to 21, providing weekly workshops, production opportunities and free tickets to their main house shows. We spoke to some of those involved in the programme about what the Young Company means to them.
My name's Oceana. I work at the Royal Exchange as a children and young people's coordinator, and basically what that entails is I program young people's programs here. We've got two main ones, which are the Young Company and the Young Collective, so we work on engaging with young people and trying to get them to the theatre.
I'm Linnea Abraham and I'm a maker for the Young Company.
My name's John. I am part of the Young Company.
In our programme, we basically ask young company participants to attend the theatre once a week and to take part in weekly sessions on a Tuesday. So that might vary in like performance, writing for the stage, acting, ensemble work, making, so lighting, design, sound designers, basically weekly training sessions to do with like potential careers in the arts, which is exciting.
The Young Company for me is a place to explore creativity through theatre. It means a lot to me because I'm from a background where arts isn't really appreciated as a career.
The Young Company is very important to me because it allows me to have an idea of what creative freedom is and how can I enable that and in a collaborative space and to have fun with it and to be with like-minded people as well.
I think theatre is a super daunting idea for young people because it's associated with a lot of old money and older people, and like having a space like this that's so historic, be open to young people, kind of breaks those boundaries down and opens it to everyone.
One thing that I've realised through like application processes here and working here at the theatre is that there are so many people who want to take part in this programme here at the Exchange, but they're one of their biggest concerns is always money, and they always feel like, oh well, I'm worried that I won't be able to afford the course, or I won't have enough money to complete the course or to stay for the whole thing, and then they just end up not applying at all.
They give attention to underrepresented groups like those with mental illnesses, disabilities, people of colour, people who identify with the LGBTQ, and also people who are non-binary. They are super accessible. Last year I worked with a deaf actor who always had an interpreter by his side.
One thing that I will like 100% back every single time is Arts Pot, which is basically a financial scheme that we have on offer here at the theatre.
Many of the Young Company members come from low-income backgrounds. To make the Young Company accessible to all, the Royal Exchange offers members financial support through the Arts Pot. For the last 10 years, the Arts Pot has been making theatre more accessible for young people across Greater Manchester thanks to the donations from the Royal Exchange's audience. The Arts Pot provides support with transport, session fees and access provisions for Young Company members. The Contact Theatre, situated on Oxford Road, stress that they are committed to giving young people aged 13 to 30 leadership, working alongside staff in deciding the artistic programme, making staff appointments and acting as full board members. We spoke to Ali Wilson, the Vice Chair of Board at the Contact Theatre.
My name is Ali Wilson and I am the Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees at Contact. So lots of different artistic and cultural things happen here. It's kind of a hub really for artistic projects. There's a project called CYC, which is Contact's Young Company, where I think maybe around 20 young people make up a theatre company here at Contact, and they make 2 shows a year. But young people are also in the building in different ways. For example, on the board, like me. So on the board, we have 9 trustees, and we have a rule here at Contact where 50% of the board must be people who are young, and by young we mean under the age of 30. So the role of young people at Contact is that essentially that they're everywhere. Contact is essentially a place for young people, but it's also kind of by young people in lots of ways. They help to make decisions in every part of the organisation. For example, the programming, so when people decide what goes on the stage right here, young people are part of that decision. It's about, if you're making decisions about young people, then you need to have young people make those decisions with you. it's also, really important that we do what we say that we do. So if we claim that we're a place for young people to strive, to learn, to grow, that can't just stop at they get to come here and be on a show and then they leave. That needs to really be something that's very genuine. That needs to be something that you can see in all parts of this organisation and this building. Why it's important for us to have young people at the heart of decision making is because young people know what is good for them. They know what's right for them. They know what's right for their friends, their peers. Young people are most often the people who are most connected to things like social trends. They're most connected online. They understand things that are happening on the ground here in Manchester. They really are kind of the eyes and ears for us to understand really what's going on outside of the organisation. So it's vital.
Manchester is now recognised as a capital for its creative arts throughout the world, with its thriving theatre and music scene and hosts a biannual Manchester International Festival. Thanks to projects like the ones featured in this documentary, and despite the lack of government support and funding in recent times, the creative arts community will continue to thrive in future generations and provide opportunities for young people to discover their talent at a grassroots level.